Hello, beautiful friends. It's Erica coming in to talk about this upcoming blood moon full lunar eclipse happening on March 14th. And I felt really called to come on and record a video for all of you about this big event. Now, before I get started, I do want to share a vision I was shown when I went into meditation prior to turning on the camera. And I was shown an open road. I was shown a wide, paved, straight road in the middle of, the flats, right? There were kind of mountains in the distance, but it was just a long, straight road. And I had the image of somebody who was riding a motorcycle. And they started out on the road and they were swerving side to side to side to side, going through the road. And they were staying on the road. The road was paved for them and it was going straight. It wasn't a windy road. It was a completely straight road. And this person was weaving side to side to side and going forward, going towards the direction the road was taking them. However, it wasn't efficient. It was side to side to side. And eventually this person started going less wide, and eventually righted themselves into balance and were going completely straight, completely down the road. And that is what I feel that this particular eclipse energy is bringing into all of our lives. And that is that we are no longer going to be wasting energy going where we're going. And part of that involves learning how to go on this path and learning how to weave through the balancing act, if you will, from going from one extreme to another. So if you have felt like your life's been sort of wobbly and not quite steady for quite a while, this particular eclipse, I feel I'm being shown, is going to put us on a path where it's straight and it's efficient, right? Because the person going side to side is certainly going forward, but they're taking longer to get there. They're expending more energy. They're expending more fuel to get there. So this particular eclipse, I feel like, is going to bring us into balance and into a forward moving path. When we think about Virgo energy, Virgo is extremely precise and it makes sense. But that's the vision I was shown ahead of time. And I did do a video where I go a lot more in depth into this eclipse already. And one of the main messages coming through was really balancing the head and the heart and finding that harmony between both and trusting that decisions made from both the head and the heart, one doesn't overshadow the other. It's like the decisions or whatever we choose to do is made with both our heads and our hearts combined, working in harmony together. So as you know, with eclipses will expedite the inevitable. They can bring about sudden changes. They can bring about sudden movement forward, unexpected events that are all intended to align us with where we're to go, where we are supposed to go next. What is next on the path for all of us? And so what I also find is interesting is so it peaks in basically the nighttime of the 13th into the 14th. So in the early morning hours of March 14th, that Friday, at around between 2 and 3 a.m., I think is when it peaks here in the Eastern time zone. So it's going to be a total blood moon eclipse. I personally have stayed up for these many times and it's really powerful to stay up. So I'll certainly be setting my alarm to be able to witness this. But it's really interesting how you observe the animals during the eclipse, because I live where there's a lot of wildlife. And the last couple eclipses, I remember going outside and there would be like these moments of silence and then there would be all this activity. But anyway, what's interesting also about this particular eclipse is that it happens to fall also on the night of Purim, which is a festival celebration within the Jewish faith about the overcoming of adversity. regarding the book of Esther in the Bible. So it's interesting that those events align and coincide with each other quite perfectly. So I know I've been feeling like this anticipation of something really big shifting. And a lot of it has to do with information and communication and truths. And for some people, these truths that may come out will be shocking. Now, if you're watching my videos, this is probably not going to be shocking to you, although there may be things that you didn't expect, because we're all in different places in our journey. But I'm just going to pull some cards here and just get us some more details about this eclipse energy to just see how we can maximize this. I do have an extended reading where I go into very specifically the before and after, the effects of this eclipse on the masculine collective and the feminine collective energy. So if you're interested, the link is down below to go check that out. There's a lot of information in there. And remember, the eclipse is going to affect us for quite a while. We have another eclipse coming in 2 weeks with the solar eclipse happening. So I'm going to start off by just taking a look at what we could expect unexpected. Actually, no, I'm going to start off with the themes in particular of how this eclipse will be supporting the collective. Okay, the High Priestess. Oh, the Knight of Swords. See, all the communication, the cutting through of the mystery. Certain things are going to be revealed, and they're going to be revealed quickly. And the Three of Swords. All right. So right off the bat, this just speaks to how many of us have intuitively been feeling like something big is coming. We feel it, even though we may see little hints of things changing and shifting. There's so much that's changed and shifted that's been kept a mystery. But with this Knight of Swords coming in with this is like quick, fast information that is coming in rapidly. But I feel like it's also bringing up for some people some disappointment, some sadness. For some of you, this is where you're going to be announcing or moving forward in your truth. Maybe you've been making plans behind the scenes of your next move, and you've been thinking about it, feeling it. You know, we have a lot of planets in Pisces leading up to this eclipse. It's the Sun in Pisces, it's Neptune, Saturn, and I think the North or South node. Anyway, the point is a lot of Pisces influence, and Pisces can be very dreamy energy, very intuitive energy, very watery. And sometimes it can feel a little bit illusory, like what's real, what's not. Is this dream or is this reality? And many of us have been feeling that for sure. What sort of surprises could happen in our physical world with this eclipse? What do we need to understand about that? Interesting. Ooh, the Six of Wands. Interesting. Victory and achievements. Public recognition. You know, something where it's like there's a sense of victory here. What does the Six of Wands relate to? The Emperor. Interesting. This can indicate the masculine energy and the Ten of Swords. So what we have is the end of an era of a lot of energy around leadership, global structures. And it's the end of a very challenging cycle with this Ten of Swords. And this is also a very take charge energy, where the masculine energy in the collective within all of us might feel like taking charge of our life, feeling like we're ready for some success and triumph over a challenging time. Tell me about the Emperor here. Judgment. Interesting. That's a card where we've been reflecting a lot on things. and we're ready to live our lives differently. We might be ready to see things differently. Things like governments, leadership. What does it mean to be an emperor? How do we want to be in charge of our own lives? How do we want to be the doer? And tell me about the Ten of Swords, Ace of Wands. There's a connection, again, to a purpose. I think a lot of mental energy is going to be cleared with this. For those of you watching these videos, you know, there's many people in the collective that have no idea what's going on and are going to be probably in a tailspin mentally, which, by the way, I'm feeling really drawn to help support people as the world is about to go through a massive shift and transition that many of my viewers and many of my beautiful friends and clients have been preparing for a long time. We are here to assist others through this transition that will be quite shocking to people. And I feel like this eclipse is going to be a real beginning of that. But what it's aligning us with is purpose. There's exciting information. There's a new sense of being fired up, because it's coming in with the Six of Wands, and it's also coming in with the Star. So this is destined. This is meant to happen. There's a restoration of hope. There's a restoration of victory. There's healing that comes with this as well. So this is an eclipse where I feel like many people are going to get their justice after having endured difficulty. And there could be a lot of changes, you know, a lot of material changes, money changes. Things are really changing in the 3D. That's what the Five of Pentacles is all about. And it's kind of interesting that this Five of Pentacles is outside of what looks like either a government building or a church of some kind. And I'm just going to be pretty cryptic here because for obvious reasons, but I feel like there's a lot of truths that are going to be revealed around information coming in around church and state. I'm just going to leave it at that. What is going to be, what is the guidance for those not going to the extended? So in the extended, I'm going to go in detail as to how this eclipse is going to impact the masculine and feminine energies. And I channel some specific messages about how it's going to affect love and relationships as well, because that is a big theme of what's coming in here. But what is the guidance for the collective for this eclipse? The Sun, the Tower, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. All right, so what we have is a massive breakthrough here into happiness, into success. This is a connecting to masculine energy. Anything that is crumbling must go. And this is where, if we've been doing our work and we've been dedicated to our work, it's like no matter what's happening in the world around us, we're going to find a sense of peace. We have a choice in this peace. This is where she's meditating with the Two Pentacles, right? It's almost like things are going to get really shaken up with this eclipse energy for the next while, the next, I'd say, month especially. But it's moving us into a really beautiful, positive direction. And so they're wanting everyone to realize that whatever change is happening around this eclipse, it is for the positive. We do have a lot of breakups happening. We have a lot of job changes, career changes, a lot of things changing. But it's all aligning us for the good. So with that, I will see some of you in the extended. I am at this time open to personal readings as well as personal sessions with clients. My business is shifting a bit, but there will be from time to time I'm called to do videos here still. But also, if you're waiting for a free personal reading that I offered a while back, I'm still working through those. I have a lot to get through, so please be patient. I appreciate your patience. You will be getting your reading. So with that, I send you so much love. Until next time, bye.